Hi, I'm Nanaba. Welcome to my channel and welcome back to the party. Today I'm going to show you how to get this beautiful French Rococo style table for under $150. Now a table like this would usually go from anywhere from $2,000 to $6,000. My total cost was $150. That's because I didn't have to buy the table. I'll give your budget $150 because I believe you can get a table like this, Facebook Marketplace, thrift stores for under $200. You're gonna purchase this Beyond Paint all-in-one in bright white. You can get it on their website. On their website, they have a very limited selection of colors. So if you want your own custom color like I did, I'm gonna show you a hack to where you can get that by just tinting their bright white paint. I purchased a quart and that was enough to give me 2.5 coats. And I still have a little bit left. I might go back and buy some more because my table is extendable and I wanna see if I can paint the extendable section. And then I also bought their sealer. The sealer is what gives it the sheen. It's not super glossy, but it's easy for surfaces like tables to clean. Go to your local hardware store, look at their paint selection, their samples, pick out a color of what you would like, and you're gonna have them tint the Beyond Paint Bright White into whatever color sample that you'd like. So I'm in Lowe's. This is the color I picked out yesterday. I don't know what I was thinking. It's way too bright. I was looking for the perfect pastel teal, something kind of ambiguous that could be blue, could be green, similar to the color of my Smeg, but more on the blue side. And I ended up finding this color called Sprinkle. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So this is the Beyond Paint all-in-one. You don't have to sand it. You don't have to prime it. You don't have to do a top coat. But the table is going to be a high traffic area, so I got a sealer just because, you know, you don't want your paint chipping. What you're going to want to do is go to your local hardware store that offers tinting. Call in advance to make sure they have this service, paint tinting. So update, apparently the container we bought is too full. So their RBG machine can't mix it. So we have to go to the gardening department, buy an empty bucket, put all of that paint in the bucket so they can mix the paint. This is a journey, but it will be worth it. We're looking for a bucket that doesn't have a hole at the bottom. I think this should be fine, right? At Lowe's, they have the RGB machine where they have the custom color and the different components that it would take to formulate that color. This is how you're gonna get your own custom color. How's it? Wow. Looks like a perfect color match to me. You really have to prep your surface when you're going in with this paint. They recommend the Simple Green surface cleaner, but honestly, any gentle natural surface cleaner would work. I'm going in with just what I had at home. And you see that I'm really coating every single surface because you don't want any oil, you don't want any dirt, you don't want anything to adhere to the paint and get in the way of it, you know, doing its thing. I know this is gonna take a long time and I want this paint to last for years. Like I don't want to spend days on this project only to have it chip and crack. Get in there and when you think you've scrubbed enough, scrub more. This is a table that the previous tenant left here and I was gonna throw it away. The color is just not my favorite. It just looks like very bland. But I saw the carvings and I saw that it had potential. This is an optional step. If your surface cleaner leaves a residue, be sure to get a cloth or put some water on it and wipe it down. This is really our superstar. This is the Beyond all-in-one. You don't actually need a top coat with this paint. I just wanted the extra insurance. You can see that the table I'm working with, it's very intricate. It only makes the painting process more difficult. So how I'm applying this paint is, it's going on pretty thick and I'm using stippling motions. If you have like a flat surface, like a table, cabinets, you would just use rollers and maybe use the paintbrush on the carvings and the more intricate details. Since most of my table is intricate details, I'm just doing all of that first and then I'm gonna do the rollers on the top at the very end because that's super easy and it's not going to take a long time. you'll see there are some times where I do that brushstroke motion, but then I'll go over it with a stippling motion just to make sure that there really is a thick first top layer. You can already see the texture. We're gonna go in with another layer of paint. The top layer is just to get the brown and the wood covered. This actually took me a long time, I'm not gonna lie. I kid you not, I was painting from 10 in the morning to 10 p.m. It says to let it dry for 4 hours, and you can go ahead and do that, but for me, since I knew it was already dry, since I was pretty much working on this all day, I just went ahead with another paintbrush, and you see here, we're just painting the second coat. You can see all the texture on the legs, all the texture on the sides. That's what that second coat is for. This is where you want to make it look perfect. I ended up doing 2 coats on the top. You'll see that my rolling strokes aren't perfect, but when you see the table at the end, you honestly can't tell. So like, don't worry about that first layer. It's gonna dry, the texture is gonna go away. The second layer is gonna look better. And when you put the sealer on it, the original paint, it dries sort of matte. So I got a satin gloss. Right now I haven't put the sealer on, so this is just how it's gonna dry. My advice when applying the sealer is put it on very lightly. If you apply the sealer too thick, it can get cloudy. If it gets cloudy, you want to paint over it with your paint color and then try again. But you want to have a really light-handed approach when you're applying the sealer. I did 2 coats of the sealer on the top, and it's in satin. You can see kind of that satin sheen, not super glossy, but good to wipe down. If you scratch the surface of your table, if you dip your brush in the sealer and put the sealer on the scratch, it will reclose the scratch. And I thought that was super cool. This right here is basically liquid gold. Like, this is what is gonna make the details pop. I'm just gonna get as much as I can in this container so I can put the brush and put this to the table. And you're just gonna get a brush, like a smaller to medium sized brush. When you dip your brush in this gold, you don't wanna make it too liquidy because it will drip on the table, and this stuff dries fast. You don't wanna put it on too light either, because that'll make it too sheer. You'll kind of figure out how to find the perfect balance of that. Get some rubbing alcohol. I just have my little art platter, put some in there. Get a Q-tip on hand, so if you make a mistake, you can just dip the Q-tip and go in there and just get it off. But you do want to be careful because it will take off some of the paint. Now I have 2 layers of this paint and it's dried. By this time, it's probably been dried for, I would say, like 4 or 5 days. So it's not gonna completely remove the paint, and I can always go back in and touch it up. As you go along, your paint brushes will dry because that spray paint does dry pretty fast. So you want to have a little container of rubbing alcohol where you can just dip your brushes in, swirl them around, and just wipe it on a cloth napkin and you're good to go. And you do want to wear gloves. I learned my lesson when I was painting. It will get everywhere. It's a pretty gold, but you don't really want that all over your finger. If you want a similar look and a similar turnout to this table, pick a table with a lot of intricate carvings. But keep in mind, the more intricate the carvings, the more time and the more work it's gonna take to make it look like this, because you're gonna have to paint those specific details. I'm going in with a smaller brush, and the second pass, this is where I'm really gonna try to fine tune all of the paintings. I'm gonna get in there and I'm gonna try to get all the specific cracks and crevices that the first pass didn't get. This project took a couple of days. The first painting with the teal layer, that could be done all in a day, but this gold detailing, it's really gonna take some time. If you have a piece that looks similar to how this table looks, it's really gonna take some time to fine tune everything and be precise with the gold. I listened to podcasts, I watched movies, maybe I popped an edible, legal in my state. But yeah, treat it like a fun project because it's definitely gonna take some time. But I promise you, the end result is totally worth it. Like every time I look at my dining table, it's so beautiful, like it's a piece of art. The piece that I was working with, it had these flower details at every corner. I couldn't figure out if I wanted to fill that square in completely with the gold or just do the outside parts. So I ended up doing both. I feel like it looks more interesting. I'm going in with that same small to medium square brush, and we're gonna do the same thing. First pass, you don't have to be super precise. We're not looking for perfection. We just wanna get that covered. I'm doing all of the square bits first, just because they're easier to douse in that gold liquid. And then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do those circular details. My roommate brought me some wine because he saw I was working hard. It was so sweet. Every day I would wake up and think about how I needed to get this table done. Like I would literally wake up and just go straight to painting because I just knew I needed it to be done. I haven't had a dining table in close to 7 months and I'm about to move, so I knew I had to get it done before I moved. That was my motivation. I'm just going in with a tinier brush. You see I keep all my brushes in that alcohol just to make sure that they're not gonna be dried out. I'm going in with that tiny brush and I'm filling in all those rounder details. And I'm also going in and filling in the squares that I did initially and making sure that everything's good. And again, if you make a mistake, grab a Q-tip, grab some alcohol, just get it out of there and you'll be fine. This is how it looks up close, super pretty. Again, not perfect, but it's beautiful. Like I wasn't going for perfection, I was going for sort of Parisian, like the Parisian inspired, French inspired royalty. That's kind of the vibe I was going for. Now the legs, I'm not gonna lie, this probably took the longest. All the different positions I have to contort my body to do this little wraparound detail. I felt like a piece of licorice, like I just kept going around the table. See, I messed up there, but that's okay. I just had a little Q-tip, some alcohol, wiped it away, and we are good as new. The legs feel like an optical illusion too, because of that spiral. You always feel like you're not filling it in. I copy pasted the rest, but I got her done. So I did this to one leg. I'm gonna show you the final reveal. The day before the chairs arrived, I was doubting if I should have painted the table like a lighter green instead of a teal, like more bluey. But then I found these chairs online. They came and they are an exact match. Originally, I got those low Amazon swivel chairs that you can see in the videos as I'm painting, but I just feel like it didn't really fit the style of this table. These are what the chairs originally look like, so you can see that kind of darker. So I actually ended up hand painting with that same gold, all of these, and there's more buttons on the sides too. This is how it looks from the side. I'm not done decorating the table yet, but you can just see like how pretty it is. And these chairs I love too because the gold matches perfectly. I feel like everything just ties in together so nicely. Yeah, I'm super happy with how the project turned out. It took me a couple of days, but it's definitely worth it. I feel like every time I sit down and eat at my dining table, I'm sitting down at this like French inspired beautiful museum. So I hope you guys give it a try. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you for coming to the party, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.